potential agent for criminality, terrorism, violent extremism, drug abuse, and other vices. We don't pay attention to issues of boy child in this nation, and even generally in Africa. But these are potential agents of destabilization, if not properly handled. According to global crime statistics, men consistently dominate crime perpetration across various categories, including violent crimes, property crimes, and white-collar offenses. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, and other international crime databases consistently report a substantial male overrepresentation in crime rates worldwide as both offenders and victims. Boys are both offenders, they are also victims in crimes. These men in question were the boys of yesterday. Consequently, the boys of today will definitely be the men of tomorrow. That is why this kind of program that addresses issues bordering on the boy child is very important. We should therefore make deliberate efforts to douse the male inherent nature of radicalism, extremism, etc., to ensure a better society. So why do men commit more crime than women? You may ask why men commit more crime than women. This question has intrigued criminologists, sociologists, and psychologists for decades. Because globally, like I earlier said, crime rates consistently show a significant gender disparity, with men being overrepresented as both offenders and victims. The question of why men commit more crimes than women is complex and multifaceted, encompassing biological, sociological, and psychological dimensions. International crime statistics consistently highlight a gender disparity in crime rates, necessitating a varied understanding of the factors at play. Addressing this disparity requires comprehensive interventions that consider the intersections of biology, socialization, and individual psychology. By embracing gender-responsive policies, educational initiatives, and targeted economic and social programs, societies can strive toward a more equitable and just future where the crime rate is significantly reduced. In assessing the gender disparity in crime rates and its exploration of both masculinity and feminist perspectives in criminology is essential. That's what are the predisposing factors in men and women? What are those predisposing factors? This framework provides a comprehensive understanding of how societal expectations, power dynamics, and structural inequalities contribute to observed gender crime patterns. By integrating these perspectives, researchers and policymakers can develop more effective and equitable strategies for addressing the root causes of criminal behavior among both men and women. So how can boys contribute to a better society how can they contribute? They can contribute in the ways I'm going to mention. Number one, promoting equality. You need to understand that you are equal to the woman and also be able to treat the woman as your equal. Now, respecting others, you must develop a culture of respect for people. You must advocate for social justice. When you are around an environment and people are treated unjustly, you should also be able to raise your voice within the limits of your ability and capacity. Fostering empathy and understanding. So today, boys don't care. In fact, the young men don't care about anything. But you need to learn to show empathy and understanding to issues bordering on other people. You must promote mental health and well-being. Then also support environmental conservation, among other things. You must develop yourself mentally. Don't get involved in things that will derail your mental capacity and ability to think, reason properly. There are exercises you engage in that will douse your understanding. Are you getting what I'm saying? So don't get involved in things that will deplete your knowledge, deplete all those sensibilities around your group. So encouraging boys to develop these traits from a young age can help create a more inclusive and compassionate society for everyone. So if you don't inculcate this attitude as you're growing up, it becomes difficult for you to embrace it at adulthood. So this is where parents come on board. You must begin to inculcate these values in boys as they grow up. In summary, by instilling values of equality, respect, empathy, and social responsibility, boys can make meaningful contributions to creating a better and more equitable society for all. As an NDL officer, I also want to look at the aspect of drugs. According to the National Drug Use Survey conducted in Nigeria in 2018, 1 in every 7 boys or people aged between 15 and 64 had once used drug in the year past. I don't know if you understand that statistics. If we're talking about this year now, and then we're considering the result of last year, we discovered that 1 in every person, especially boys, would have taken drugs, be it alcohol, be it cigarette or whatever, just any kind of drugs, not for the purpose of health. The past year's prevalence of any drug use was estimated at 14.4%, which translates to 14.3 million people aged between 15 to 64 who had used a psychoactive substance in the past year for non-medical purposes, just like I explained. So these people that have used these drugs, it's not for medical purposes. It's to either to get high or to get agitated so that they can commit some heinous crimes. So more men with an annual prevalence of 21.8% or 10.8 million men have been involved in drugs. So what is our effort at addressing these issues? I'm going to talk about your efforts also to address them, but what are our own efforts? Within about 38 years of the present leadership of NDLA, we have arrested 50,901 suspects, including 46 barons. And if you must understand and know, a baron is almost equal to about 500 couriers, because it's extremely difficult to get to a baron. The barons are the big men in the drug industry. So we have arrested 50,901 suspects, amongst them 46 barons. It's a no mean feat. We have also convicted 9,034 convicts, and then 7,561 tons of drugs. Those of you who did mathematics, we're talking about tons there. Then we have also destroyed 1,057 hectares of farmlands. On the demand side, I want to use the opportunity to also tell you that NDLA considers, does this work through 2 methods. One, we do what we call supply reduction and demand reduction. Under supply reduction, we go after the bad boys who traffic these drugs, who sell to people, who will house them. But under drug demand reduction process efforts, we try to correct the anomalies of this drug. We try to get people out of it. Those ones do not attract punishment. I want to make it clear because people get afraid that if they report people who use drugs, NDLA may arrest them. If you bring to our notice that a boy or a girl uses drugs, we look at that boy or girl as a victim of the process. And then we lend a helping hand to get him out of the problem. I don't know whether I'm understood. So these differences must be understood. It must be understood so that you can take advantage of it to help those around you who are abusing drugs, or have been addicted to drugs. So that is why. So those who are under our drug demand reduction, that come under our drug demand reduction efforts, we don't punish them. We treat them out of drugs, and that happens at any stage. So on drug demand reduction side, we have been able to counsel about 32,492 people. We also have instituted a wider initiative called War Against Drug Abuse, where we seek to the buy-in of traditional rulers, religious institutions, and create awareness in schools. We've been doing that for quite some time. We also have our toll-free call center. You can always, sorry, they say my time is up. So just let me mention some of the things, you need to So how can you help us address these issues? You can be our informed advocates. You can speak for us in settings around your communities, your schools.